Did you see the proposal that happened at the Tyler, the Creator concert in Atlanta? Well, it made so many people smile until they realized who this guy is. Look at that. It seems like the whole crowd is cheering for him. I know people are so special. This is the most beautiful thing. What a beautiful couple, right? Well, not everybody thinks so. In fact, multiple women came out of the woodwork with a warning for this young lady that she needs to get away from him fast.
I know the man in this video, and when I met him, he told me his name was Caleb. 2.5 years later, I find out that he has at least 6 kids by many different women, and I ended up being number 7. So I will be putting together a series of videos of my experience with him and how I took my power back.
Hey yo, I'm here to tell you, if you saw that viral video of that light-skinned nigga with them fake-ass dreads proposing to his lady at the Tyler, the Creator concert in Atlanta, yeah, that nigga still married. He been married for years. If anybody know that lady that he's proposing...
This video is for the young woman who just got engaged at the Tyler, the Creator concert in Atlanta, Georgia. And I did try to warn her however I could, because at the time I didn't even know who she was. And especially this last month, it's been really heavy on my heart. I've been thinking about her often because I'm so scared and worried about her. And when someone warned me about him, I was 5 months pregnant. And I just couldn't, like, it was too much. So I would reach out to her directly, but I know what happened when someone directly reached out to me. And so this isn't the way that I would like for it to be done, but I feel like this is the only way to stop him. And he was talking to her while he was still with me. I know that for a fact. So this next part will be the start of my story of what happened to me when I met him, and the 2.5 years that I was with him. So this is the engagement swindler, and just to all the women out there who've ever been in an abusive relationship, just know that you can get out of it. You can. Like, even if you went so far down the rabbit hole and you're just like not even feeling like you can get out, like, you can. Even if you have nothing, like, you can escape and you can restart your life, because that's what I basically had to do. So thank you for everyone that will be watching this, and this is just to warn people, because this is the era of unveiling predators and helping just people in general, so that way you don't get caught up and have your life completely ruined.
So this is a follow-up video to the series of videos I posted yesterday called So I Almost Married a Narcissistic Sociopath. And I have not been able to get around to all of your comments just yet, but I promise I will do so shortly. And I'm going to do my best to respond to, if not all, most of them. And if I, for some reason, do not make it to your comment, I am so sorry. I love you. I love you. I love you. However, there were some questions that just kept recurring. And so I figured I would just take this time to hopefully briefly address each of those questions, rather than trying to go through and answer each one individually 10,000 times over. Number 1, What lip color was I wearing? Very, very, very important. Both the lip liner and the lipstick are from MAC Cosmetics. The lipstick color is smoked purple and the lip liner is night moth. Number 2, where did I get my macrame? It is nothing fancy. I got it on Amazon. I literally just searched macrame wall hanging with shelves and I picked this one. To those of you wondering, no, his name is not Mark Lee, Nicholas, Mike, or any of the other names that you posted. His name is Byron. Did I get my car back? I absolutely did get my car back. He took it for his weekend excursion and then came back that Sunday like nothing had happened. Legit. Like nothing had happened. In fact, he came back that day and was like, I was thinking while I was gone, and I probably need to do better at my communication. The ring. Y'all want to know how he got the ring and why my parents paid for it. So I did not know at the time when he proposed to me that my parents paid for the ring. I actually did not find this out until shit was already awry. However, apparently he took my parents to go pick out the ring. He found a ring, put the deposit on the ring. However, the day he was supposed to pick up the ring, which was the day before he was proposing to me, like the night before, in fact, I guess he called my parents, called my mom, called my dad, and was like, so I don't have the money. And if I can't do this, then Paige is going to be sitting there tomorrow looking real stupid. And my parents are probably the single most generous and giving people on the face of the planet. So they, at the time, thought they were lending him the money for the ring. But in fact, that is not money they ever got back. And this is not going to be short. There is going to be a part 2. Okay, so go to part 2. So yeah, he basically put my parents in a very compromising position, making them feel like, oh, if we don't help him, then this isn't going to happen for our daughter. Now, did they probably have reservations about doing it? Absolutely. But that's what's fun about manipulation. You kind of don't always get to like sort through all the stuff that feels funky because it's like go, 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 go. It's like in real time. How did he take it? Well, the way he took it was that one day while I was just like furious and lost my mind on him, I took it off. We got into a huge fight one day. It was actually after that weekend excursion. And I was like, if this is any indication of what our future is going to look like, then I don't want any part of it. And so in anger, I took it off, set it in my little ring situation. When I came back the next day, it was gone. I then spent every day for the next month asking for my ring back, to which he declined, saying things like, I'm not ready. I can't believe you took it off. It's so hurtful. It's so hurtful to me that you took it off. I just don't know if I'm emotionally ready to give it back to you. And he then even started feeding me some bullshit about like, well, I can't just give it back. I have to repropose at this point. And it's like, but do you? Do you though? But yeah, so that's how he got the ring, and I have not seen it since. Did I know he was a narcissist when we were dating? No, I didn't. What is so masterful about narcissists is that they present themselves as these amazing people. They present themselves as charming and compassionate and deeply loving. And that's what he presented to me. And part of his recon, if you will, in getting to know me was realizing that that was something that I was really looking for and that I really craved in a relationship. I wanted vulnerability. I wanted safety. And that is the person he conjured up and that he became. And so as far as I was concerned, at the time, I honestly felt like I had never been more loved. I had never been more adored. I felt safe with him. So he very much so pulled the veil over my eyes, if you will, to the point where I didn't think he was a perfect person by any means. He showed just enough flaws for me to know like, oh, okay, you're not perfect, but definitely hid the monster. Oh my God, I'm still talking. There's going to be another part. I'm so sorry. Okay, welcome back. Last part, I promise. Lastly, how am I doing? No, seriously, this has by far been the hardest, most painful year of my life. And there have been more days this year where I thought and believed that all of his efforts to destroy me had succeeded. I remember days of just not wanting to be here because I just didn't want to feel the pain anymore. I have been battling depression. I already had anxiety, but now it's just at a whole nother level. Trusting is just a very complicated, trust is a very complicated relationship for me right now, not just of others, but of myself. The way I see it, it's like everything got burnt up, including myself. But out of that, God has done something really oddly beautiful in that from the ashes, I have been reborn and I am being rebuilt in a way that honestly, had I not gone through this, I don't think the pieces of me that I am discovering and that I am stepping into, I would have. I've always been someone who struggled with insecurity and knowing my worth and feeling like I'm enough. And from out of this, I feel like for the first time in my life, I am not just understanding, but there's this internal deep knowing that I am worthy and I am enough and I am never going to again in my life compromise my radiance, my joy, my peace, my glory, my essence, everything about me that is just fucking badass. I am never going to compromise ever again, and I am protecting it by any means necessary, because out of this, I have learned to fall in love with myself, and you protect what you love. So no, I would not wish this on anyone, and I wouldn't have asked for this for myself, but I'm grateful that it happened. I am grateful that God protected me and he rescued me, and I'm grateful for everything that he's been doing to place me in alignment to receive that the abundance that has always been mine. He just had to get the trash out the way. So thank you for receiving my story, for allowing me the space to share this with you, and for just responding with so much love and support. And for those of you who replied with stories of your own, thank you. It is empowering and it is encouraging because, as I mentioned in my last video, there is strength in knowing you're not alone. In case you haven't heard it today, you are a badass warrior queen, and there's not a motherfucker on this earth who is worth compromising your peace, your joy, your love, and your radiance. So if they are not contributing to your highest, truest, freest self, fuck them. Love you. If you have made it this far, welcome to the finale of So I Almost Married a Narcissistic Sociopath. So he's just blown up my entire life, and if the way in which he did so was not gut-wrenching enough, over the next couple months, I would come to find out that he had multiple children that I knew nothing about. He owes a shit ton of back child support. He basically was cheating on me our entire relationship. At this point, I feel like I'd be pressed to find a day where he was faithful. And my personal favorite, he's married to someone else. And that's the real kicker for me, ladies and gentlemen, because plot twist, that means we were never actually going to get married. So when he proposed to me, he knew we weren't going to get married. When we started planning our wedding, he knew we weren't going to get married. When we did our engagement photos, he knew we would not get married. When my family paid deposits for the venue, for the caterer, for the DJ, for the flowers, for the planner, he knew we were not going to get married. When I bought my dress, he knew we were not going to get married. When my girls spent money on their dresses, he knew we were never going to get married. Now, if that's not a narcissistic sociopath, then I don't know what is. So that's the skinny on how I almost married a narcissistic sociopath. And now he is having a baby with his new supply. And congrats to the happy couple. No, not really. I hope you're miserable. BT dubs, sis, if he ends up proposing to you with a really beautiful oval-shaped halo engagement ring, that's mine. Could I get that back? I only ask because, my parents paid for it. Okay, I know that's petty, but I earned it. Okay, real talk. I know that I use humor a lot to retell some really painful and hard truths about my life, but I want to make it very clear. Anyone who has experienced being in an abusive relationship of any kind, whether emotionally, physically, mentally, and in relationship with a narcissistic personality, that is no joking matter. It is so incredibly painful, and it is so incredibly difficult to try and recover from. Healing and rebuilding from this has been one of the hardest and scariest things that I've ever done, because I fully believed that this was going to destroy me. But somehow it didn't, actually. I know how. I know what it's like to experience a pain that you can literally feel tearing pieces of you away. And I'm not here to give you answers because frankly, I don't have them. I just simply want to remind you that you are not alone and to encourage you to keep fighting for you, because those places that we think are impossible for us to get to, they're not. Love you.